Hey there, Fortnite fans. It's your boy Alkeemist doing a video for you on aim training. So over the next 7 days, I'm going to be recording my progression doing the same aim training routine on controller. Now, I do have some rules that I set for myself. I have to spend at least 30 minutes a day using different aim training tools. At least 3 rounds of 1v1s focusing on aiming after my training, and then focus on some weaknesses while I'm training. Some of my goals for doing this are to improve cursor placement, faster reaction time, and to transfer all that over into my Fortnite gameplay. So why am I doing it on controller? Well, the reality of it is, at the end of this season, we are likely to see a Fortnite aim assist nerf. So a lot of people made it into the money and are doing very well in the tournaments because they have an overpowered linear aim assist. Now, I don't want to be one of those guys. So during my videos, I actually use exponential to wean myself off of the linear, and I'm also doing this training to work on my aim so that when that that nerf does go away, I can still be able to keep training and work myself into the competitive scene. So if you're a controller player who wants to learn how to improve their aim, you might want to watch this video. So on day 1, I use a SCAR just to practice and get myself a baseline. Now later I do change the gun over, but this gun was a little bit smaller so I could see more of the screen. I end up using the MP5 because it's a little closer to the Fortnite assault rifle. I'm using Spider Shot because it's a very good tool for precision. As you can see, the dots move, but they're not in motion. You also have to hit directly on the dot. The dots get smaller and bigger as you train. One downside to this is you can see it is a first person. Fortnite is a third person shooter game. I make the adjustment later on, but for now you can see just my movement's very clunky. I have a hard time putting the dot on the circle, and as they get smaller I have an even more difficult time. Alright, so hopefully this training over the next 7 days can get me to a place where I feel more comfortable getting more points and being more accurate, not just spraying and hitting the back wall. Another problem I have initially is I can't really see the right side of the screen because the gun is too big, but that adjustment does get made later on. So take a look at my scores, and 9,000, very, very, very bad. Awful score. But it does show that you can get some good metrics to look back on if you need to make improvements on your aim. So I see my score is 9,000, my accuracy is 29 essentially. My reaction time it says 12 to 63 in milliseconds, but we're not going to look at that. There is an actual percentage. As you can look around the circle, all of them have percentages: kills per second, reaction time, targets hit, etc. Right, so throughout this training we want to be able to improve those. So I go back and I do it again. I do it for a couple times. Each day I aim to do about 10, but my goal is to do about 30 minutes in total of aim training. So as you can see, this one I did a little bit better, still a little clunky, but I finished the day with a score of about 14,000. You can see that my accuracy has improved. My reaction time is also improved, and it is technically a high score because I just started. Okay, so moving on to day 2. Now day 2, I told you I switched to the MP5 because the recoil, the movement of the gun, even if it's just a trainer, is a lot more realistic, and it converts better over to the Fortnite version of the assault rifle. Now Fortnite does have a SCAR, but not everyone can get a SCAR, but everyone can get an assault rifle. So we do want to practice with something that is going to be more realistic for how we can actually interact during the game. Now as we play the task, you'll notice I got a little bit better as it went on. So some things I really tried to focus on as I was getting better. I really tried to slow down as I got over the target. So you notice me whip the gun across and then try to slow down and place my cursor over the target. One thing I was told from one of my friends, he was a big time Gears of War guy, almost made it to competitive scene. He said to really focus on the screen as a whole and put your target into the middle of the screen. Instead of focusing on where the cursor is, put the entire target in the middle of the screen. Alright, so what I tried to focus on here was not only my reaction time and moving the gun quickly to the location, is I kind of took my focus off the ball itself and focused on just putting the color in the middle of the screen. and it does help me improve my score overall over time. Some problems I was having was my single tap firing. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of extra firing after I've already popped the bubble. So I really was trying to work on that after taking notes on the first day. I'm also aiming too low on the ball every time. The best shots you can get in any shooter game are headshots. So I was trying to work on hitting it a little higher as I went along. So as we can see here, my score is a little bit better, 15,000. My accuracy is a little bit lower, but some of my metrics are also a little bit better. My reaction time is a little bit better. So the good thing about Aim Lab is Aim Lab does give you a lot of things that you can look at. See at the bottom, it gives you some hints. It says my accuracy is relatively low, and it goes into detail explaining my accuracy. In addition to it, tells me about the slow reaction time. Some of the things that I noticed in the first session, it actually spells out for you. The good thing is it does also give you your weaknesses and writes it down and tells you exactly how you can go about improving them. So maybe spider shot's not for you, but there is something that will help you improve your skills. For me, I stuck with this particular task because I wanted to see the effectiveness of doing the same routine every single day for at least 30 minutes. So we go to my advanced, and you can see the precision is a little bit off. 57.8 is not accurate because as I go on, I see it get lower. Even though my score gets better, my accuracy gets better. So that first precision score is off, but you can see my kills per second is below 1. My score is a little bit better, but even my accuracy was a little bit lower. And you can see here, my focus is paying off. So I'm looking here at my task data. So my task data, spider shot, I go down to precision and I check the overview and I look at it, and it goes and tells me exactly what I've done to this point. So I can go back the next day, look at how I did the previous day, and then go and aim to be better than I was the day before. So every single time I look at my score, I can see what I did last time, and then looking at the arrows tell me if I went up or if I went down. And it's a good thing for my notes as well to see whether I'm making the right adjustments. Are my notes correct? And are these 30 minutes really worth it? Now you can see here I adjusted the POV. I made a third person. Like I said, it's more realistic for Fortnite. Now Fortnite, you do, especially controller, you do use your movement to aim just as much as you use your look stick. But right now we're just working on look stick, where my reticle is pointing, where my cursor is pointing. Now here I jump into a creative map actually that records your hits and misses, and it also gives you a different terrain because Fortnite does have different terrains. It's not a singular playing game. So I can work on my different terrain shots as well as my distance shots. Now I am using the AR, the blue AR in Fortnite. As I said, it's very common, so we do definitely want to use that. I'll link the map for you in the description. It's 8022-6842-4965, and it's by Donwozi BTW. Now it's very simple. All you have to do is hit start, and your job is to hit the discs. The discs repopulate, so there's no particular order. All you have to do is do the most you can in 2 minutes. And on the left side, it'll show you how many hits and misses you actually had in your session, right? So now I'm just grinding every day, grinding, getting in my time. And you can see my score is getting way better. I'm flicking, getting to the spot, putting it on, and working on my tap fire, not firing into the backboard. Right, there's still little tweaks to work on, but this is only day 3, and I've already almost doubled my score from the first day. I can definitely see some improvement in my gameplay. Right, now this is only day 4, so some things I really want to focus on is also getting my distance shots too. When I take it into the actual gameplay, I still want to be able to see that, okay, well, you're not just getting a better score, right? You're getting better gameplay. You're actually transferring that over to the game that you're wanting to play, right? So now let's look at some gameplay shots, right? A whiffer shot there, right? A lot of it's just sense, right? I'm whiffing shots in between here. So it's not really transferring over yet, but again, you do aim with your position too, which is one thing I'm not able to work on. But something like this, right? Just throwing my cursor up. Again, I felt some frustration because 3 days in, I'm not seeing any improvement. So after my training sessions, I took it upon myself to jump into some zone wars. right? I'm not hitting as hard as I want to hit, but you can see after a couple hours, yes, I wasn't doing too well in my 1v1s, but after a couple hours, my shots hit. They didn't do as much damage as I wanted to, but they definitely hit, right? And I did allot myself a little bit of time at the end of the day. There you go, another good, decent shot. That player was awful, so I was able to get the kill, but I hit every single shot in that instance. So it took a couple hours for it to really sink in. You're not going to expect to see the results right after you do it, but you are going to see results in a couple days, right? The scores don't just tell it all. Right, so obviously, and this is not just gameplay, it's some game sense too. I was playing it a little bit more aggressively than I would normally play as Zone Wars. I wasn't going for placement. I was just getting myself up and close to people to work on my aim. Now, day 5, I really saw some improvement. Day 5 was very good, a very good confidence booster. I am nailing it. Look how patient I am. I'm on a roll, and I got a high score. Almost tripled what I got on the first day. Almost triple. My accuracy, 54%. Half my shots are hitting with an AR. So it's a lot harder with an AR because you do have to single fire or it'll count those extra shots. So I was able to get some single fire shots in. Day 6, again, I'm going at it, just trying to get better. I'm already eclipsed what I've done the day before, and my slowdown's a lot better. I'm hitting a lot higher on the ball, and again, it shows. Every day it's showing I'm getting a little bit better, getting a high score. And it's not just about the score, again, it's about that gameplay, right? Able to take it over into Fortnite, right? I keep using Donwozi's map to really work on, okay, not just the score, but long distance aiming, right? There's no aim assist, unfortunately, with these. So you're not going to get the same kind of pull that you get when you're playing the game. But it is important that you do get some kind of just natural training, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to lose out when they do nerf this aim assist, right? Now, this was day 7. Day 7, I decided to do a little bit earlier in the day, and obviously my score shows, but I was still able to get 2,700. I was still able to do much better than I had been doing, even after changing my sleep schedule, but keeping my same training schedule, 30 minutes a day, right? So now, again, we're still just trying to put it into the gameplay. Right, so here you can see my building is building is decent, my editing is decent. I'm doing pretty well, but I'm just trying to get a good shot on, right? I'm not trying to rush my shots anymore. Bang. Took time and patience to line it up. You know, getting myself in good position, which is an element of Fortnite, but you can see I'm a lot more patient on my shots, making sure that I'm pre-lining it up and then slowing it down as I get my cursor over. If you guys are interested in more Fortnite content, either how to get better or just the state of the community or VOD reviews or whatever it is, leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Turn post notifications on and let us know what kind of things you want to see in the future. And I hope that you can become the next FNCS champion. Peace out.